cultural bridges between our lands.
Hello, welcome to ASEAN in Focus. On today's headlines, President Duterte is confident that the COVID-19 vaccine will soon be shared to the world. He also vowed to defend health workers from attacks. And we're live in Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, the Grand Bahamas, and many more. Welcome to our viewers in the Philippines and around the world. I'm Alma Angeles, live in Manila. ASEAN in Focus starts now. Once a vaccine designed to protect against the 2019 coronavirus disease is developed, it will be shared with the rest of the world. That is according to President Duterte on Tuesday night. The president recognized the seriousness of the health problem, but noted that the Philippines could only rely on medical scientists and experts from powerful countries and God's blessings to prevent people from getting sick. He also said that the pandemic is getting worse and sought for cooperation in maintaining peace and order amid reports that some 20 protesters demanding food assistance were arrested in Quezon City for staging a rally amid the month-long enhanced community quarantine in the entire Luzon. Take a look.
I am addressing you once again about the problem of COVID pandemic. It is getting worse. So once again, I'm telling you the seriousness of the problem and that you must listen. We are awaiting for God's blessing na magkaroon tayo ng vaccine, either from sino dyan na bright boy, China, Russia, America. I'm sure kung meron na sila, they will share it with the rest of the world. In the meantime, habang naghihintay tayo, marami hong problema na pumuputok na. Hirap na nga tayo, wala ng trabaho, walang negosyo, and there are people really, you try to mess up with yung kukunti nating, ang ating supply, hanggang dyan lang yan, yung inabot. Kasi hindi natin alam ganun kabilis. In 2 days time, patay ka. So, we are trying to manage na lahat magkaroon equally. Equally is equally. Pera, pati pagkain. Ano yung parte ko, parte mo yan. Pero maghintay kayo. Huwag ninyong gamitin ang puwersa. I am addressing the left na yung pangbabastos ninyong slamming about the distribution. Remember, kayong mga left, you are not the government. Naintindihan ninyo yan? Hindi kayo nasa gobyerno and you cannot be a part of what we are planning to do for the nation. Intindihin ninyo yan. Kaya huwag kayong maggawa ng kalukuhan at magrayot-rayot dyan because I will order you detained at bibitawan ko kayo pagkatapos na wala na itong COVID. Huwag ninyong subukan ang Pilipino. Do not try to test it. Alam mo, we are ready for you. Gulo o barilan o patayan, I will not hesitate my soldiers to shoot you I will not hesitate to order the police to arrest and detain you. Ngayon, pag kayo ang na-detain, bahala kayo sa pagkain ninyo. Kasi ibigay ko doon sa mga luko-luko kagaya ninyo, panggulo, ibigay ko na lang yun sa mga matino, pati ang nangangailangan.
President Duterte signed the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act or Republic Act number 11469, declaring a state of national emergency over the entire country and giving him special powers to address the COVID-19 pandemic. RA 11469 allows President Duterte to realign the national budget and tap additional funds to address the national emergency. The law also allows him to immediately procure medical supplies such as personal protective equipment or PPEs, lab and medical equipment, and testing kits. He also placed the entire Luzon under an enhanced community quarantine, which strictly requires residents to stay indoors and limit movement to accessing basic necessities and heightens the presence of uniformed personnel. Now, President Duterte also vowed to defend the health workers in the front line against the coronavirus disease. Amid reports of discrimination and attacks, he lamented how the lives of health workers were endangered not only while battling the disease, but against those who wanted them harmed. Take a look.
Ito namang isa, itong mga trabahante, mga doktor, mga nurse, health workers, attendants and all, hindi makauwi ng bahay, tinatapunan ninyo ng kung ano-anong mga chemicals na nakakasira ang katawan. Mas una silang mamatay kayong sa pasyente doon sa COVID. Yung mga tao na gumagawa ng ganon, I am ordering the police to go around. Huwag kayong mag-standby dyan sa istasyon. Maglakad kayo, tandem, at maghanap kayo ng mga taong bastos. At kung mahuli mo, kung ano yung binubuhos niya doon sa health worker, o sa doktor, ibuhos mo rin sa kanya para tabla. Bakit? Ikaw lang ba ang marunong? Tikman mo rin yung ginagawa mo and see if it would make you happy. Ulitin ko, do not. Yung mga doktor, hospital, yun yung doktor na binuhusan mo, yun ang gagamot sa iyo sa loob ng ospital. Yung mga frontliners, huwag kayong mag-alala. I will support and defend you. Ulitin ko, ngayon, DSWD na, kasi sanay na sila sa distribution ng pera, pati bigas. Secretary Galvez will help in the distribution of the money, or he can handle the distribution of the money while leaving Secretary Bautista to attend to other matters.
Philippine National Police Chief Archie Gamboa earlier directed police to provide security to health workers. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said in a virtual presser on Wednesday, a male nurse was reportedly splashed with chlorine while walking along Tres de Abril Street in Cebu City last March 27. On the same day, a frontliner in a hospital in Tacurong City, Sultan Kudarat, was mobbed by a group of 5 who splattered bleach all over his face. There were also reports of health workers being denied rides and being asked to vacate their apartments. Authorities threatened to take legal actions against those who discriminate health workers. All right, let's go over to the Grand Bahamas and find out the coronavirus situation over there. We are joined live by Dexter Velasquez. Dexter, kumusta?
Magandang araw po.
Magandang madaling araw po dyan.
Opo.
Opo.
Salamat po.
Alas 2:18 to 19 ng umaga po.
Yes po.
Maraming salamat at pinaunlakan niyo po yung aming request na makausap po kayo. Kumusta po dyan sa Bahamas? Kumusta po ang sitwasyon niyo dyan?
Dito po sa Freeport po, medyo organized naman po kami dito. Meron pong ginawa po ang government na parang coding po. Kumbaga po is yung first letter ng last name mo is meron kang designated day para po mag-grocery, para bumili po para lumabas, para po baka bumili po ng mga necessities po na kailangan po. So, para madali rin po matrace ng gobyerno kung sino man po yung affected, kung sino man po yung maapektuhan ng virus po kung sakasakali po. So far po, meron po kaming one confirmed case po dito sa Freeport. And na-action naman po agad ng gobyerno po dito.
Okay, so ano ba ang ginagawa ng gobyerno dyan para hindi mag-spread yung coronavirus disease? Anong measures ang pinapa-implement dyan sa Bahamas?
Gaya po nung sinabi ko po kanina, meron pong coding ang mga tao po.
Paano yung coding? What do you mean coding? Paano yung...
Yung first letter ng last name po, from letter A to letter K, meron pong designated day kung kailan po sila pwedeng mag-grocery, bumili po ng necessities.
Okay.
For example po, yung A to letter K, pwede po silang lumabas Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then yung L to letter Z po, is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday po.
Lockdown din ba kayo?
Opo, lockdown din po kami.
Lockdown
24
din?
hours po.
Since when pa po ang nag-umpisa ang lockdown ninyo?
Since, if I'm correct po, March 26, 25 po.
Okay. So, ginagawa coding, alphabetical, kung sinong pwedeng lumabas ng ganung araw, 8 to ganun, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. So, paano naman po yung supplies ninyo sa supermarkets? Well supplied ba kayo o nagkakaubusan din?
Sa ngayon po, well supplied naman po. May time po na may part ng supermarket na minsan po wala pong tubig. Pero the next day, mayroon na po. Nagkakaubusan lang po ng supply. Pero hindi naman po totally ubos. The next day, nagkakaroon po kagad.
Okay. So, maliit lang naman kasi ang population ninyo di ba, ng Bahamas. So, nagpa-practice din kayo ng social distancing? Ganun din ba? Isa rin ba yun sa mga pinapa-implement sa inyo? Mask? Are you required po?
Po, yes po. Lalo po sa groceries po, meron po mga mark po sa floor kung saan po pwede ka pong doon po pwedeng mag-stay hanggang hindi pa po pinapapasok sa grocery po. Meron po.
Okay, so yung marami bang Pilipino dyan? Kumusta naman po ang mga kababayan natin? Paano ho kayo nagtutulungan dyan sa Bahamas?
Dito po, bali, social distancing po, umiiwas po talaga kaming lumabas po ng bahay. Not unless po is essential workers po. Essential workers po is either nurse po yung ibang kababayan po natin. Sila po talaga yung mga frontliners po dito. Tapos sila po talaga yung hindi po sila exempted po sila sa mga tawag po dito sa coding kung sakasakali po meron po.
Una na sila, oo, priority sila
Opo.
syempre, no?
Friend po.
Dahil maliit lang ang population ninyo, 'di ba? Kasi sa research ko 395,361 lang kayo, no? Ang maliit. Siguro mas madaling
Opo.
i-manage, no? Kaya hindi masyadong mataas ang cases diyan na ano kagad. Ang tawag doon, nakokontrol kagad.
Opo, gano'n po. Nung nagkaroon na po ng case po dito, talagang total lockdown na po. Wala na pong puwedeng mag-flight po to US, wala na pong, tinatanggap po ang immigration po.
Wala na rin pwedeng lumabas ng bansa. Paano yung mga Pilipinong gustong umuwi, hindi na sila makakalabas?
Makakalabas po sila 'pag ano po, 'pag nag-lay low na po yung 'pag nag-improve na po yung scenario po natin sa COVID-19 po.
Paano yung mga ano diyan, yung cruise ships? Paano, stuck sila sa...
Yung ibang cruise ship po, naka-anchor lang po sila, malapit lang po sa land. Pero hindi po sila, yung iba po hindi po binibigyan ng access para makapag, ang tawag po dito,
Yung dock?
makapag-dock po sila. Hindi po.
Yung...
Lalo na po yung may case ng COVID-19, hindi po talaga sila pinapayagan.
Okay. So, meron bang mga cruise ships ngayon na stuck nga dyan, na hindi pinabababa ng, ng barko ngayon? So, wala, nandun lang sila. Anong ginagawa ng gobyerno para maalagaan po sila, para matingnan?
Regarding po doon, hindi po ako sure po.
Hindi pa sure. Okay, okay. Sige, you can come back with me on that para malaman natin. Interesado lang po kasi kami. Okay, so kumusta naman po ang sitwasyon yun dyan ngayon? Yung meron bang Pilipinong positive for COVID? Awa naman ng Diyos, wala pa.
Sa ngayon po, wala pa pong confirm po na Filipino po. Wala po.
Wala pa, okay. So, okay. Bahamas, okay, nag-release ang US Coast Guard ng safety bulletin directing cruise ships to increase medical supplies. Pero indefinite period of time pa, no? Hindi natin malaman. Okay, so anong ginagawa nyo naman para sa inyo, sa pamilya ninyo? Ano, nagbago ba ang lifestyle ng buhay nyo dahil sa nangyayaring ito?
Hindi naman po. Talagang normal lang po dito.
Yung trabaho ninyo,
yun lang
paano po? Work from home, karamihan ho ba? O pumapasok pa rin ho sa trabaho?
Kami po, ako po kasi example po, nagtatrabaho po ako sa shipyard.
Okay.
So, required po kaming magtrabaho hanggat pinapapasok po kami. So, practice social distancing din po and proper hygiene po. Para
Ngayon,
po makaiwas po.
So may mga COVID cases, dalawa lang ang public hospitals nyo. According to only 2 public hospitals. Paano nyo ma-accommodate kaya yun, yung mga COVID cases? Ano kaya gagawin ng gobyerno doon?
I am hoping po na yung halimbawa po is mga yung covered court po dito is gawin pong facility po para po sa COVID cases po.
Meron na bang ganung proposal po? Kasi dalawa lang ang public hospitals ninyo.
Po. Hindi po ako sigurado kung meron pong ganung proposal, pero nakikita ko rin po kasi sa ibang bansa na ganun pong ginagawa. So, there's a possibility po na
Baka ganun din ang
gayahin
gawin.
po.
Oo. Okay. Okay, so meron ka bang pamilya dito, Dexter? Baka gusto mo silang batiin o magpahatid ng mensahe para sa kanila?
Gusto ko po sabihin sa mga kakilala ko po, sa pamilya ko po, na lagi po mag-iingat, huwag pong pababayaan ng sarili po at lagi po manalangin po.
Okay. Meron pa pala kayong 8 hospitals total sa Freeport naman ito, sa Nassau. Sa Grand Bahamas, ilan ang hospital ninyo? 2 public hospitals? Okay.
As far as I know po, there's 8 or 7
Yes.
po.
Oh, okay. Okay. So hopefully makayanan lahat at wag na dumami pa ang COVID cases dyan. Maraming salamat
Opo.
sa oras mo. Alam ko at 2:00 ng umaga dyan, mag-aalas 3 na. So maraming salamat. Thank you for your time. Sana wag kayong magsawa. Makausap namin kayo para sa mga updates po dyan sa Grand Bahamas. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po. Magandang araw po.
Going now to Malaysia. Malaysia, which has the highest number of coronavirus cases in Southeast Asia, has been seeing encouraging signs as the health ministry reports that the rate of new coronavirus infections appear to be slowing down. That and more updates from our EBC correspondent Ruby Tinawin. Ruby,
Yes.
welcome back, Ruby.
Malaysia's health. Yes, thank you, Alma. Thank you. I'm here to give you updates of what's happening in Malaysia at this point in time. So Malaysia's Health Director General, Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, said there are early signs that efforts taken by the government and the Ministry of Health is curbing the virus, and it is working. So he was referring to a graph that prepared by the Malaysian Institute of Economic Research, which portrayed projected an actual trajectory on the number of cases from March 24 to March 30th. So he said the graph showing actual trajectory is gradually flattening. However, he pointed out that the next 2 weeks is crucial in determining if the situation can continue to improve. Dr. Hisham also highlighted that Malaysia reported its highest number of daily recoveries, 108 cases, on Wednesday, that's yesterday, April 1st, bringing the total number of recoveries to 645. The current recovery rate as of this date is 22%. That's what he mentioned. So Malaysia, as of yesterday, reported 142 new COVID-19 cases, 45 deaths, bringing the total number of cases to 2,908. Now, as the country tightens control in the second phase of the movement control order, which is set to run from yesterday until April 14, Malaysian government has limited the distance a person can travel to buy food and other essentials, only within to 10 kilometers of their home. The same rule also applies to those who are seeking health care and medical services. So this announcement was made yesterday. So according to a Federal Gazette on the Road Transport Order 2020, signed by Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adham Baba, which stipulates that this movement condition applies to any person who moves from one place to another within the infected local area, or from one infected local area to another infected local area. It also states that when traveling, a person shall not be accompanied by another unless it is reasonably necessary, while those who are out to perform any official duty, including any essential services, shall carry with them an authorization letter from their employers. Malaysians who need to leave the house for any other special or particular reason are required to obtain written permission from the police headquarters. Any person who contravenes any provision shall, upon conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 1,000 ringgit or to imprisonment not more than 6 months, or to both. Now, under the updated regulation, the list of essential services has also been cut from 22 to 10. 22 to 10 to limit public movement to contain COVID-19 virus. The 10 services which are still deemed as essential are in the area of food, water, energy, communication, and internet, security and defense, solid waste, public cleansing management, sewerage, healthcare and medical industry, banking and finance, e-commerce, logistics are also counted. However, broadcasting and wildlife, airport services are not included in the new list. Therefore, they are not allowed to operate anymore in the next 2 weeks of the lockdown. Now, the Institute of Democracy and Economic Affairs, they welcome the stimulus package introduced by the government. However, they suggest that a long-term plan is needed to actually pave way to the economic crisis that they foresee will happen. So they said the plan is only good for 6 to 12 months, but after that, they don't want to see government finding themselves getting out of, from a public health crisis, but moving into an economic crisis. So what
Yes.
they suggested, they urged the government for a long-term economic plan. And one of the suggestions they submitted was to create an SME distress center, because in the initial stimulus package plan, SMEs felt that there, not much of privilege, not much of incentives for them. So having this SME distress center, which could act as a one-stop information and business support platform, would really help SMEs. Now, in response to this, the Prime Minister actually set up a special cabinet committee to balance economic priorities and to also enforce effective movement control order. So they set up this so-called special cabinet committee. The role is to develop strategic measure to safeguard Malaysia's economy and also to look into labor market affected by COVID-19. So the committee will focus on key areas such as measures to sustain Malaysia's economic engines, particularly SMEs, during this MCO or Movement Control Order, and to also ensure effective mitigation efforts in addressing displacement of labor force among Malaysians. Now, the members of this so-called special committee would comprise ministers and senior ministers in the nation's economy and security area. So the defense minister, economy minister are all in here. And they will also engage industry players from various sectors to gather insight from people on the ground. Now, the committee's inception reflects the government's quick response to address issues highlighted by the citizens and the Malaysian business community. On a similar note, Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development Minister Jafar says the government will improve existing aid packages meant for SMEs. So he said the government, in order to further mitigate the effect of COVID-19 pandemic, and this will be announced by the Prime Minister next week after discussion at the ministry level, and and those issues are brought to the Economic Action Council. So the SMEs, if you can recall, they actually raised their dissatisfaction over the 250 billion ringgit economic stimulus package, rather, which was announced last week, because they said that they not much benefit for them. Now, the message that they're trying to say is the government would never deny the importance of SMEs here. But at the moment, the priority of the government was to overcome the virus pandemic. The former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has also shared his concern that rebuilding economy not only in Malaysia but around the world, especially those countries that were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, will take a longer time. So he acknowledged the fact that there will be a terrible impact on world economy as a whole. And he also said that the restriction movement imposed by various governments caused many businesses to only conduct a fraction of their usual activities, reduction in productivity, and that would cause the world economy to shrink. So he was responding to one of a question from his viewers when he was asked what impact of COVID-19 he think, what was the impact of COVID-19 to the world. Now, he said that he was confident Malaysian or Malaysia as a whole will be able to weather the current crisis. The key would be to rebuild the foundations of the economy. He said this would rest on the shoulder of all Malaysians. He suggested that those who are financially affected and looking for extra income should look for alternative means. So, say for example, doing business from home, such as selling home cooked food. So the former Prime Minister is now back to his home, keeping himself busy, reading and doing all the things that he loved to do that he cannot do while he was in the office. So other updates that we have, the government came up with new standard operating procedures to those NGOs here that are trying to provide aid distribution to the needy. So they said that some restrictions that they need to follow, such as making sure that only 2 persons in each of the NGOs are allowed to make delivery, wearing masks, putting sanitizers and all, keeping social distancing. And part of this new procedure is whenever NGOs are out to distribute goods to the needy, they will be accompanied by enforcers, well coordinated by the welfare department. And also, on a positive note, the crime rate, especially in Kuala Lumpur area, drops 57% during the first 2 weeks of the movement control order. So this was reported by the Kuala Lumpur Police Chief, Mazlan Lazim. He said the crime index had dropped to 184, more than half the usual threshold of 432 before the MCO. And similarly, Petaling Jaya District as well reported that there was a drop of 40 to 50% in the 5 days of MCO or the lockdown.
Okay,
so
Ruby?
In another state, yes, Alma?
Yes, I'd like to ask you, would you say that testing has increased? As you said, the curve is flattening. Because in many countries, the importance of mass testing is now being slowly recognized. Do you think that testing has increased in your country because that's why the curve is flattening?
Yes, Alma, indeed. Because in one of the reports that I made, the government set up many quarantine center, which also serve as testing center. And they also actually came up with mobile testing facilities as well, that you do not need to get into a clinic or hospital. I mean, it's like a drive-through concept. Like you just drive your car and for every stop, there will be health official conducting all the checking for you. And it was also announced by the Health Director General that they increased the target of their quota for testing each day. Alma?
Okay, $973 or 4,200 Malaysian ringgit in cash transfer. Is this a one-time aid or is this for a period of months?
For which one are you referring to?
This is the aid granted to you, to citizens, right?
There are varieties actually, Alma, like depending on which category you fall into. So different groups will have different package, different benefits by the government.
Because we must remember that businesses will be closing or they will start laying off after this pandemic because of the crisis. So I think there's a lot more that we have to look into as this goes by. But yes, I know we will be getting more updates from you. Ruby, thank you so much for your updates, and we'll be hearing from you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes. Yes, from EBC Malaysia Bureau, this is Ruby Tinawin. We live in interesting times.
Prime Minister Hun Sen said the government will convene a special meeting to work on the draft for the state of emergency before forwarding it to the National Assembly. A state of emergency, meaning it's now imminent. It's now imminent in Cambodia in light of the coronavirus cases. Let's bring in, live joining us is from Cambodia, Crystal Ann Ballesteros. Crystal Ann?
Hi, Alma. Yes,
Hi.
that is true. State of emergency law is about to happen. The
Okay.
government said yesterday that the state of emergency draft law will be forwarded directly to the National Assembly without the need of the Council of Ministers to approve amid COVID-19 outbreak. Prime Minister Hun Sen said on Monday the government will convene a special meeting to work on the draft for the state of emergency on Friday before forwarding it to the National Assembly. However, according to an outcome of a closed-door interministerial meeting led by Prime Minister Hun Sen at the Peace Palace, said the draft law will be forwarded to the National Assembly soon. It said the law was designated based on Article 22 of the Constitution, which states, when the nation faces danger, the king shall make a proclamation to the people putting the country in a state of emergency after the agreement with the Prime Minister and the President of the National Assembly and President of the Senate. It noted the law is aimed to protect security, public order, properties, environment, life, and health of the people. Here is the sneak peek of an official draft law in the state of emergency posted by ASEAN Cambodia. It says that measures during the state of emergency when the nation is declared a state of emergency, the royal government shall have the right to impose the following measures: prohibition or restriction of freedom of movement, prohibition of restriction of the right to freedom of gathering of people, prohibition or restriction of work or occupation, prohibition or limitation of persons from going out of any residence, the introduction of appropriate measures for quarantine in public emergencies caused by disease outbreaks, deferred measures and evacuation of people in response to emergencies, the introduction of measures to prevent disarm, administer and manage assets and services necessary to respond to emergencies, pricing of goods and services, public or private closures, monitoring the management of access to information through all forms of telecommunications, prohibition or limitation of the distribution or dissemination of information that could cause fear, and the introduction of other appropriate measures. Meanwhile, here is the current breakdown of COVID-19 cases in Cambodia as of 9:30 a.m. yesterday. The number of cases remained the same. There are 109 cases, 48 Cambodian, 37 French, 12 Malaysian, 5 British, 2 Indonesian, 2 Americans, 1 Canadian, Chinese, and Belgian. And there are 25 cured already. Alma?
All right. Under the newly drafted law, the government may delegate authority to the armed forces to ensure its implementation once the emergency is declared. Human Rights Watch said the Cambodian government should withdraw its draft state of emergency law because it would empower Prime Minister Hun Sen to override fundamental human rights. But the Prime Minister has claimed that the law is necessary to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. So how are the people reacting to this?
Well,
Over there.
Alma, as normal, there will be divided opinions by the citizens. Some will think that it will make their country safe with the virus, but some may be thinking that it can affect their daily life, which has both points. As I mentioned, some embassies are doing their own measures to protect their people, and so as Cambodia's government. I think what's important now is to show unity and cooperation to whatever the government will decide.
Thank you very much, Crystal Ann. I know you have something to do. Thank you for your time. You're very busy. Thank you so much and stay healthy.
Thank you, Alma, for the latest news and updates here in Cambodia. I am Crystal Ann Ballesteros, and we live in interesting times.
ASEAN in Focus, we'll be right back. In Thailand, the body of a 57-year-old passenger who collapsed and died on a special express train on Monday night was tested positive for COVID-19, and Thailand trials, 15-minute trials for the COVID-19 test. Here to tell us more about it is Faye Barte from our EBC Thailand Bureau. Welcome back, Faye.
Hello, Alma. How are you there? How are you there in the Philippines?
Very good. Nice to hear from you again, Faye.
Thank
What
you.
are your updates for us?
Yes, Alma, the body of a 57-year-old passenger who returned from Pakistan to Suvarnabhumi Airport. He actually underwent screening at the airport but was not found to have any fever. So he collapsed and died on a special express train on Monday night, and he was tested positive for COVID-19, an official said on April 1, 2020. Alma?
Okay. That's a bit scary. What are your
Yes, Alma.
Yeah. Go
So,
ahead.
so nowadays the officials are looking for the passengers that person traveled together. So they are looking for those people, and they are being sending some announcements for them to go to the hospital to have the test, COVID test, for them to be secure also.
Okay. So contact tracing, that's what they're doing now. Yes. So how
Yes, Alma.
So how is the city now in Bangkok? You're in Bangkok, right?
Yes, Alma, in Bangkok, the governor said that they are going to implement a rule for the convenience stores that they are going to be closed from midnight up to 5 a.m. So this rule would be imposed for the frontliners, because for the convenience stores, the people there, the cashiers, are considered to be frontliners. So they are going to be careful for this, because Bangkok has the highest numbers of cases. And you know, Alma, for this one, as the numbers of cases is increasing, the latest for this, the official COVID-19 update in Thailand just today, it is 1,875 people infected. So there are 104 has been added, and there are 505 discharged, and the total deaths are 15.
Okay.
Yes, because of this, Alma, because of the rapid increase of this, the people infected here in Thailand, they have the 15-minute COVID-19 test trials, because they currently use the polymerase chain reaction test, or the PCR test, from nasal and throat swabs to detect COVID-19. So they are having another test. They are making a trial. If the test is positive, the patient is sent for a more comprehensive swab to confirm the result. Alma.
Can you give us a picture of life there in Thailand now? How is it? How is it over there? Bangkok used to be really busy. Shopping center of Asia. How is it now? How does it look like?
Right, because the shopping malls here are closed. They are instructed to be closed. So the people here are very much careful going out, because they don't want to be, they don't want to be infected because of this COVID outbreak. And a lot of people here are affected due to this pandemic situation. This is an economic problem. So you can see at the roadside there are some vendors, very few, not like before, because before you can really see many vendors there at the roadside, but now you can see little. You can see few people also, and they are very much careful also when they are dealing to other people.
Okay, so you're also practicing social distancing, or physical distancing, as WHO wants to call it, physical distancing. How many can go out? Gatherings, how many can in a gathering? Only 2, 5?
Yeah, in a gathering, Alma, they are actually prohibiting this. However, for 15 or less people, they are allowing this unless they really practice the social distancing or the physical distancing. Aside from this, Alma, because a lot of foreigners here, a lot of tourists here. You can see in the immigration offices. I'm not sure if we can flash that over the TV.
Okay.
Yeah, there are lots of people in the immigration offices. There are different nationalities, so it's crowded in there. When you go there for like 5 a.m. in the morning, you can already see a long queue because they are applying for a tourist visa, they are applying for another types of visas, and for workers here, they do the 90 days report. So for this, Alma, they receive the immigration officers, they receive lots of people, they
But
can
now,
yeah, they can receive. So the government decided, as per Mr. Natapanu Nopakun, the Deputy Director General of the Department of Information and Deputy Spokesman of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, announced that the Cabinet has responded with the move to grant automatic renewal of tourist visas for visitors who arrive in Thailand. With the move to grant, after March 1. So if they arrive in Thailand after March 1, Alma, they are going to be granted an automatic renewal of tourist visa. This proposal, Alma, is already approved by the Cabinet yesterday, and it is set to be officially announced sometime soon for the other provinces. And the situation will relieve a lot of stress, a lot of stress to the immigration officers, to the tourists as well. And they do not want to have the crowded situation there inside inside the immigration offices. Alma?
all right. Thank you very much, Faye, for all that update. I wish we had shown those pictures, but I guess maybe next time, tomorrow. Thank you so much, Faye. Stay healthy.
Right, Alma, and I just wanna have this because it's the birthday of the Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Siritorn here in Thailand. We would just like to express our most loyal greetings and best wishes for her.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you for your
very
time.
much. Thank you, Alma, and thank you all to all the viewers. This is Faye Barte from Bangkok, Thailand Bureau, and we live in interesting times.
Okay, let's go over to Hanoi, Vietnam. We are joined live by Ralph Wandolph Empire. Ralph, good afternoon.
Pleasant day to everyone. Good afternoon, Alma, and to our viewers.
Good
so
to
I've got
see
some
you.
latest updates. Yeah. Okay, so Vietnam on April 1 has implemented social distancing rules nationwide for 15 days to curb the spread of COVID-19. The measures include self-isolation and restricting people from leaving homes except for food and medicines. The gathering of more than 2 people is also banned, while also keeping a distance of 2 meters when outside. Factories, businesses, and service establishments producing and providing essential goods are allowed to remain open, but must follow strict health guidelines. In line with the order, domestic flights have been significantly reduced to just 1 round trip a day between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi and Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang. Passenger trains between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are also limited to 2 trips a day. All international flights have been suspended. Gyms, pubs, cinemas, malls, coffee shops, massage parlors, karaoke shops, and online gaming centers are temporarily shut down. Many companies in Vietnam have let their employees work from home, including myself. I've been working from home since March. And basically Vietnam has suspended the entry of all foreigners from March 22 until further notice to limit the spread of COVID-19. The measure will not apply to diplomats and officials as per Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc.
Okay.
Vietnam also launched a mobile app called nCoV that will allow all Vietnamese to declare their health status. And another interesting topic here is that Vietnam said on Friday that it plans to stockpile rice and suspend new rice export contracts through the end of the month to ensure it can feed its 97 million population through the coronavirus crisis. In addition, the finance ministry said Vietnam State Reserves Department plans to have 190,000 metric tons of rice in storage by June 15. So that's it for now.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, as per Ministry of Health, as of today, April 2, 6:32 in the morning, Vietnam has already 222 cases, 63 have recovered, 159 active cases, and 3 in a critical condition. And fortunately, there are no reported deaths.
Okay, good. Vietnam has also increased its screenings at their borders for drug and crime syndicates who might take advantage of the situation, ano? Diba? As law enforcement is focused on curbing the spread of coronavirus.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Ralph, and we'll be hearing from you for more updates over there in Hanoi. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your time.
So much. Thank you so much, Alma, for having me in your program.
All right. Thank you, Ralph. Okay, let's find out the coronavirus situation in Japan. Live, we're being joined live by Tyra Lu. Tyra.
Hi, Alma. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Weather here is really good. It's springtime, it's sunny, and it's really windy. But yeah, people are advised to stay home. So anyway, we just have to, we might as well stay at home. As for the updates here in Japan regarding the COVID-19, let's try to check the brighter side or the hopeful side of things. So as we heard in the previous news, Japan released 1 trillion yen amount of money for the emergency funds for this COVID case. Now, part of the expenses for that emergency funds will be allocated for the ECMO. So in the previous reports, we have heard that ECMO, this is extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. It's kind of hard to read that. So this is actually a machine that helps respiratory and cardiac functions, allowing patients' hearts and lungs to rest while waiting for immune system to defeat pathogens. So here in Japan, they have come up with different ways to treat COVID-19 patients, including, as you have heard already, the Avigan. That is the anti-flu medicine. So apart from that, so I'm going to tackle on that next. So regarding this fund, so the economic revitalization minister, so Timura Yasutoshi, said that the government emergencies economic package, which will be compiled next week, will include the production of more heart-lung machines, so as well as the training of the ECMO machines. So they met with the Dr. Takeda Shihiro. So he is an ECMO expert. And according to them, the ECMO therapy is effective in some extent, treating patients in serious condition of the COVID-19. But doctors with specialized medical techniques are actually needed as much as the machine. So this is actually part of the budget that the Japanese government will be allocated for. Alma?
Okay, much needed. That is a much needed machine in these times. Thank you very much, Tyra, and I know I'll be hearing from you again later. Thank you for your time. I'll see you later.
Yes, thank you, Alma. This is Tyra Lu from Japan, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you. Thank you to our EDC correspondents. That is the latest news in the ASEAN region and beyond. I'm Alma Angeles. We live in interesting times.